Okay, cool. All right, gang. Well, let me cover one more topic since my I have my whiteboard and everything. So I might as well do it's kind of like being on a telestrator. So let's see if I can remember how to share my whiteboard. I always love that. You get to scan my office real quick. All right, so what I want to cover, one thing, before I do that, let me actually this will actually be part of it. Okay. So I want to cover a thing that we call the 8 steps to success. Oh yeah, this is my bald spot camera. See if I have a bald spot yet. Uh-oh. Wonder what that is. Anyway. Okay. 8 steps to success. What is that? If everyone goes, Alex, what does it take to be successful? What can I do to make 6 figures? What can I do to earn the trip? Or what can I do to build a large agency? And what this business and what we've learned over 30 years plus being in this business and another business is it boils down to 8 things. If you do these 8 things consistently, it's almost like if you only do 7 of the 8, you're not going to get there. I would rather have you do 8 at 50% than 7 at 100% and 0, with the last step. Okay. If you can do all of them and try to max all of them out, or at least, do a high percentage of all 8, you're going to get where you want to go. I promise you, like guaranteed, you're going to get your goals, whatever those are, if you implement these 8 things. Isn't that cool? If we can tell you 8 things to do that will guarantee your success if you do them over time. Like I don't care what your goal is. If it's to make $250,000 a year and go on a trip every year, you do these 8 things, I promise you will be able to get there. Guaranteed. Like, I can't say guaranteed, but almost. I can't guarantee anything. I'm not in a position to guarantee your success. Only you are. But if you do these 8 things, highly likely you're going to get these. Okay. Now, let me say this. Nothing is ever as fast as you ever wanted. It just doesn't happen in this life. How many of you are where you want to be right now today? You thought you'd be further along, right? Like me. I thought I'd be further along than I am now, but I'm glad where I'm at. I'm glad at least I'm here. Okay. So you're going to get there. So is that cool that we have a book? This is vintage. This is a vintage book. The 8 Steps to Success by Andy Albright. This is vintage. This is one of the originals. He's updated this book with a different cover, but you got one of these OG books, man, or OG books. These are worth a lot. Okay. So let me cover them and kind of give you my spin. I'd rather you read the book because you're going to get the full benefit, but let me give you my spin on it. Okay. The 8 Steps to Success. So what's the first one? Personal use. Okay, this is the one that I find that is probably one of the most embarrassing parts of the business are agents that don't have their own life insurance policy, particularly a policy that they sell. Okay, one of the companies that we sell for. Okay, you don't need to get all 49, or all 49 companies, but I think there's credibility. When I first got in the business, we were selling Fidelity and Guarantee Home Certain. It was the mortgage protection policy that they had years ago. And that's what we got started in. We only started with one product, F&G Life Home Certain. And so I got my license in December. Like we studied in November, got our license. I wrote my Home Certain app on on the 8th of December, got issued on the 24th of December. Oh man, you know what? I used to keep it like right here. I would carry, I wanted to have my own policy, right? I felt like I had credibility if I had my own policy, right? If someone asked me, Alex, show me what you got, I could pull out. In fact, one of my closing techniques that I teach on the post-sale part of the appointment is to ask the client, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, by the way, you're at the end of your appointment. Okay, so this is at the end of the appointment. By the way, would you like to see what your policy is going to look like? And it's like, what do you mean? Well, let me show you my policy, because all the policies are, mandated by the state of Ohio to look the same, have the same stuff in it. So let me show you my policy. So I pull out my F&G Life home certain policy. I got all the bells and whistles, disability, return of premium, still enforced to this day. It was a 30-year policy. So got it in 1999. So anyway. And so I showed them my policy. It showed their policy page, the summary page of their benefits. I showed them, the cost. I showed them the suicide exclusion. I showed them a copy of the app. I basically pre-deliver. I call it pre-delivering the policy. Okay, and one of the biggest reasons for doing that is that you've been talking the concept of life insurance. But when you show them your policy, it turns the concept of life insurance to this tangible thing that they can hold, and they can whack it. You can open it up, and it's this thing, this real life contract that your client is going to get. Man, what did I do with it? This bugs me now because I usually am able to pull it out. It's in the old F&G plastic binder thing. I can't believe I haven't pulled it out in a while. Anyway, that will make you so much money because it speaks to your credibility. So look, man, be credible. I would just say be credible. Those were the first things I did was buy my own policy. Of course, I got IUL. There's many of you on here that have your own policies and IUL policies, but personal use, man, you need to have credibility. Because look, if you can't overcome your own objection for buying life insurance, how are you going to overcome a client's objection? Right? To me, there's a little bit of hypocrisy involved if you're selling life insurance and you don't have a policy for yourself. I mean, come on, man, let's just call it like it is. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite, man. And Jesus didn't like hypocrites too much. He loved everyone, but he didn't like what the hypocrites were doing. The act of hypocrisy is what he did not like most of all. Okay. Second one, work. So some people, it's a 4-letter word. Okay. Work means work, getting on the phone, making dials, knocking on doors, doing door knocks to see if the people are home that's turned in these apps or turned this form that did not pick up the phone, the last 20 times you try to dial them. Okay. Getting on the phone, following up on pending, making sure policies are getting issued, calling clients back who lapse their policies to try to save policies. This business takes work. We make a lot of money doing what we do, but we can't do it on our butts. Like you heard what Mark said, man, he's seeing the people, he's pressing the flesh, he's in front of him, mano a mano, kneecap to kneecap, creating that relationship, right? He is working. Karen Musil is working. People are working this business, okay? So it's making dials, right? Making dials to create appointments, right? To create sales and to create income. That's it. What are they dialing? Leads. So do you have a lead plan? What's your lead plan? Alex, what's a lead plan? Lead plan is your commitment to invest in leads every week, right? It's your commitment to invest in leads every week. And if I'm investing for you, if you're at a commission rate where I'm investing leads for you, then we need to talk all the time about making sure you're in the, in the flow. some of these leads are hard to ramp up. Okay. So some of you are still waiting mode. Some of you are getting bombarded with leads. And the people that I'm giving leads to, let me look who's on here. Okay, so I see some people on here that I'm giving leads to, that I'm purchasing leads, and some of them are not on this call. So what does that tell me? That tells me that I'm throwing pearls to swine. Okay, I'm not calling them swine, but you get my analogy. Why would I want to spend another dime on leads if you're not on a Zoom call? Like, look, if you miss Zoom calls here and there and you watch the video playback, that's cool. But man, if I'm spending several $100, like, you have no idea. I just have to surmise that you're not doing the work. So why would I get you leads? But you got to put the work in. And it's the work that we recommend, right? It's not shuffling paper from one side of the desk to the other. It's actually going out there and doing the income producing activities, right? We call it IPAs. Okay, it's not a beer. Okay, income producing activities, right? That's what makes you money. And then you're doing all the other stuff on non-prime time, right? So work, man. Obviously, the fruits of people's work are the leaderboards. You saw who's on the leaderboard. Those are the people that are working, okay? So work. Number 3, you got to be a good listener, okay? In other words, you got to be attentive and listening to what everyone's saying that are trying to help you. Why do you think I asked Mark how he sells? He talked about meeting people face to face, probably because it works, right? Mark's secret to Mark's success, Milan Powell, he doesn't use leads, but he's calling people that he knows, people that knew from a long time, people that knows his name. He's going to give them a call. They're probably they're not that warm, but they remember who he is. And then he starts a conversation. He's doing it through social media. Tell you what, man, if they're a friend on social media, they're wide open. They're fair game for you to DM them, say, hey, listen, have you ever reviewed your life insurance? Look, I'm in the business and we work with 49 different carriers. I might be able to get you a really good program to meet your needs. Why don't we catch up? That's it. And he probably DMs a bunch of people. He finds someone that are interested. He helps those people that are interested and then gets referrals. See, there's all kinds of ways to skin this cat, but that's why we listen. That's why you come on Zoom calls for a sales Q&A. You may not have questions, but Thursday night at 9, you're going to hear other people's questions, and you're going to hear my answer to them and other agents that are experienced, their answer to that question, and you're going to learn so much. And you're going to learn stuff that you didn't even know to ask, but the stuff you learn will make you money. Here's the thing about learning in the insurance business is once you lock down a lesson, once you learn something, you will implement that teaching throughout the rest of your career in insurance. In other words, you just increased your income capability by becoming better and improving on that particular issue, right? Like for some of you thinking, well, I'd rather just sell over the phone. By hearing Mark Dobbins talk about seeing people face to face, you make that decision to go into the homes. It could be a huge difference between you staying in the insurance business or you quitting the insurance business entirely. Okay. Now, it's not impossible to learn telesales. It's just harder. It takes more technique, it takes more skill. If you're willing to suffer the learning curve, then by all means, we can teach you how to sell over the phone. I'm not against it. I'm just saying that Mark is making money by seeing people face to face. Okay. So you have to pick up on all the stuff we're teaching. Sometimes it's not going to be pitch you over the head stuff. You got to pick up on stuff we're not saying. What we're not saying is almost as important as what we are saying. Okay. And you got to be on all the calls to listen to all that. Okay. When I make comments like at the beginning, not knowing what a bad decision is, you listen to what I just said, You don't know you made a bad decision until you make enough right ones to know that the decision you made before was a bad one. Let me let that ring. Okay, you don't know what a bad decision is. See, that's the problem. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know that you made a bad decision. Because when you make enough right decisions, you'll realize the bad decision you made that cost you years of success, literally. But you won't know you made it until not too late, but you're going to hit yourself over the head going, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't go to the national conference. I can't believe because the one you went to was like, change your life. Yeah, I told you it would. 3 conferences ago. Now you missed 3/4 of a year, and now you're getting on track. God bless you, man. I'm glad you made the right decision. Anyway, listen. You have to pick up on everything. That's why it's important to be around the people that are making the right decisions. You hang around enough right people that are making the right decisions, you're going to make the right decisions for yourself. Number 4, leaders are readers. Can I ask you, is it worth your goals? Is it worth changing your life by spending 15 minutes a night reading a book? I'm all asking is 15 minutes a night. Yeah, I would love more, but you know what? If I can get you to do it consistently 15 minutes a night, you will change your life. You will literally change your life, starting with 8 Steps to Success. And in this book, actually, it's 77. This is vintage. The book recommendation list. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't see that very well. So first books to read, it has a list. Think and Grow Rich, not by Napoleon Hill. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling, Frank Bettger. This is one of the most foundational books you could ever read. I thought I had Think and Grow Rich. It's in here somewhere. Okay, anyway. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling, Acres of Diamonds, The Go-Getter, Greatest Salesman in the World, The 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader by John Maxwell, Oh, the Places You Will Go by another doctor, Dr. Seuss. See You at the Top, Zig Ziglar, The Greatest Miracle in the World, Og Mandino, The Power of Positive Thinking, Norman Vincent Peale, The Go-Giver, A Little Story About Powerful Business Ideas, Rob Berg, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, Dale Carnegie. Start with those books, man. I've got some other good ones here. What to say to talk when you talk to yourself, The Power of Self-Talk by Shad Hemstedler. And then First Things First, this one will teach you all about working in the proper quadrant on managing your time. If you are having difficulties trying to figure out where to put your time and what type of time to what type of things to do in the time that you have to read this book. You got to be in the right quadrant of work, and you won't know what that is until you read it. Okay. Always like looking at what I book. Oh yeah, here it is. The 4 quadrants: urgent and important, urgent and not important, not urgent and important, not urgent and important. You have to be in the right quadrant in order to do the things properly, to make your life more efficient. This is more about efficient work. And you will get so much more out of what you do if you know the secrets in this book by Stephen Covey, one of the best books. But if you're not reading, oh my gosh, you're missing out on all this great knowledge that are in these books. You will change your life based on the books you read. I promise you. You are where you are in life based on the books you read and the people you hang around with. It is proven over and over and over and over and again. So many of the books in my office all say the same things in a different way, right? You cannot it really comes down to God's law of success, right? God put the power of success in your own hands, and he's codified it. And we humans have been trying to figure it out. It starts with the Bible. It's all in the Bible. But all these other people secularly have figured out and written these books that say a lot of the same things. Man, 15 minutes tonight, man, your life will change. Number 5. Attend all meetings. Big decisions happen at big meetings. Big decisions happen when you're in a crowd of people. Like, come on, man. Let's be real. How can you just go to church online? Fellowship is not over the internet. Fellowship is you get around other believers, other people that believe the way you do, right? Where you can bounce off each other. In fact, in Paul talks about that. He has instructions on what you do with non-believers that attend your gathering. Well, so what does that say? The believers got together. They got together to fellowship. And then when they had someone who wasn't, they bring them in, and he instructed what to do with them. So the meetings were for the people that believed. All our meetings are for the people that believe, so you can bring the unbelievers in so they can believe. I promise you, every fiber of my being, you will do this business when you believe in the business. You will not do the business when you don't believe in the business. It almost doesn't matter whether or not you can believe it. What's more important is that you believe it can be done. And then the next step in the process is increasing your self-image, which is what all these 8 steps do. Okay, let me kind of unwrap the present. This increases your self-image. Your self-image will increase your belief that you can do it. And by increasing your belief you can do it, you will do it. And the more you increase your self-image, the more you do the right things, which means you're going to make more money and be more successful. But more importantly, you're going to be more satisfied with your life. You will achieve this situation where you'll love your life temporarily. Okay. We're not supposed to love our life, but I'm not going to get into that. You'll be fulfilled because you're going to do what God wants you to do, and you're going to be fulfilled. Doesn't mean it's easy. It means that you're going to suffer and it's going to be hard, but it can be hard in the most righteous, glorious, joyful way. Okay? Does that make sense? That's what all these 8 steps do. Attending all meetings, like what? I know it sounds like I'm pounding you on coming to national conference. Why am I pounding you? I don't make any money off you buying a ticket, right? I want you to change your life. I want you to avail yourself of all the positive things that will happen for you if you do go to the same meetings that I went to all my life. I've been to function after function, and every function built on the previous function. It's like puzzle pieces I've been putting together, and every one I go to fills in another piece that I needed to go beyond. Look, man, God has put me in the business for a reason. Not only for me to get closer to him and to do the mission he has for me, but it's also to prepare others to do the same thing, to help others walk down the same road, right? And so these meetings are so important. These, the 4 conferences that we do, all the Zoom calls, the Alliance Zoom calls, the Wednesday call, which I think I'm doing this week, actually. Yeah, I think I'm doing Wednesday, I believe. Or it could be the activity call. I can't remember which one. Anyway, I might even just do this talk. But the bottom line is attend all meetings. Get on the Zoom calls. Get better, get better, get better. Focus on improving yourself. If you can get 1% better every day, do you imagine how compounding self-improvement will work for you? It's insane. Attend all meetings. Please. Please. Be teachable. Okay. Please don't have the yes, but attitude. Let's get rid of the yes, but, okay. No more yes, but. Let's do a yes, and. Yes, and what else can I do? Yes, Alex, what else? Yes, and. Not yes, but. Because but, what comes after but, okay, is probably not really good. What comes after but is an excuse. And what do they call an excuse? A reason wrapped in a lie. That's what they call an excuse. Like, don't have the yes, be teachable, man. Be willing to learn. I'm always trying to learn more and better, how I can get better, and I'm not successful all the time. Okay, I've got a lot of things that I need to work on. Okay, I realize that I'm not perfect. Please don't put me on a pedestal. I'm the worst sinner. Okay, I'm always seeking forgiveness, right? Because I'm the worst sinner. And every saint, if you read the writings of the saints, all the saints felt like that. They weren't worthy. Only by the grace that they even, were in the same room of being able to, be in God's presence, right? But be teachable. Have that attitude of submission to someone who knows more than you, someone who wants to see you successful. Humble yourself to their teaching. They're teaching you, okay? Respect what they're trying to teach you. Let's move 7 up here. Be accountable. Accountable. Man, I'm going a little bit long, so just hang in there with me. I've told when I do my Tuesday, Thursday webinars for all these young kids that are coming on looking at the insurance industry as an opportunity from Indeed, my Indeed ads, I tell them at the end, I said, look, I'm going to give you my schedule link. And I said, for your benefit, let me just ask you, please, to show up because you said you would. When you schedule me, I'm going to be there. You need to be there. Like, why do you need to be there? Because then that shows me you're accountable. If you blow me off, I don't care. But what it's going to do is it's going to hurt you more than me, because it's going to prove to you that it's okay to be unaccountable. And that will be the bane of your success, because you are not good for your word. It's okay if you tell me you can't make it because let's reschedule. I'm good with that. But if you just blow me off, to me, you aren't worth working with, because I only work with people that are accountable, right? And accountability is one of the foundations of being successful. You're good for your word. It's the other thing too about accountability, that if you don't value this, then you are forever going to be living a life of mediocrity. Because I think accountability is one of the foundational principles of excellence. If you're not accountable, you don't do what you say you're going to do. Trust me, and I listen. When you say, okay, man, Alex, I'll pay that charge back off, and then I never hear from you again, it tells me all I need to know. Because number one, if I ate that for you, then you're stealing from me. But Alex, you make all this money in overrides and you made a bunch of money off me already. I can hear what you're saying. I'm going, yep. Like I said, it's going to hurt you more than me. To me, it's God's money, because it's not my money. I've always viewed it as God's money. It just gives me opportunity to spread the love to other people, charities. Like this year was an insane year of giving money away. I mean, it was just one of the most, I'm not bragging, please, 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 okay? But when you steal, but Alex, it's not stealing. All right. You can quibble all you want. You know who knows? It's in your heart. God knows the intent in your heart. And when you don't follow through on what you say you're going to do, and it's interesting because money is the one that everyone kind of lets slide. It's easy to let slide. It's easy to not tithe. It's easy not to give. It's so much easier to do that, right? Oh, he won't remember. He won't remember what I said. I remember stuff. When you tell me you're going to be at a meeting and then you're not there, I remember stuff. I remember that you told me you were going to be there. Now something came up, like I said, man, something came up, just let me know. If it wasn't important enough to be at, then why don't you let me know that? You didn't think it was important enough to be at, but just don't blow it off. Accountability, man. So do what you say you're going to do. I value accountability. At the Air Force Academy and in the military, people live and die by accountability. If you're not where you ought to be and you're not doing what you promised you're going to be, your brothers in arms, your sisters in arms, someone could die because of the decision you made to not be accountable. You can die a slow death of mediocrity the rest of your life by this one thing right here. Be good for your word. Do what you say you're going to do. And number 8, communicate with a positive mental attitude. Look, your upline is always your pressure relief valve. You got something to complain about, bitch about, be hangry about, angry. Bitch to me. Don't bitch to your cross line. Please, Lord in heaven, don't bitch to your downline. Don't complain to your downline. Bring it up line. I can handle it. But man, have an abundance mentality. Have a mentality of we can figure it out. There's no such thing as an emergency. Have the no such thing as emergency attitude. Have an attitude of hope and, hope for the future. That we can figure out whatever is bringing you down. There's always a solution. We've learned to be resourceful, okay? And maybe we thought about some way that you have not thought about or even knew an option that existed for your issue. Okay, just come at us with a positive attitude. And if you come at us with a negative attitude, I'll still pick up the phone. Okay, it's just not as much fun. Okay, right? I can handle it. But it's more for you. See, the problem when you call me and say, Alex, my problem is, it's like, oh, please. The problem with you speaking your problem is you're speaking your problem into existence and continuing your problem because you're speaking it. The more you speak your problem, the more you're focused on your problem, the more you will have your problem. The key is not focusing on your problem, but being solution focused on how you can fix it. Okay? It's like, please don't repeat your problem to me. Let's just figure out a way to fix what's problems you're having. Okay? Let's don't focus on telling me the entire story of how you got here. Because it'll start with, well, when I was born, my mom didn't breastfeed me. Oh. And then you give me your life story and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't take this. I can't take it. I'll listen and I'll nod my head and I'll keep saying, okay. But I want to get to the part of, okay, let's figure out how to fix it. Let's move you forward. Let's put a game plan together. Let's do something that will move you forward, then backward. Okay. PMA, man. 8 things. You do these 8 things, you do it. Man, if you're 50% on all of them, man, you are moving forward. But if you're like 100% on 6, 50% on 7 and 0% on 8, if you're 0% on any one of these, then you're not moving forward. It could be the one thing that's holding you back. That's why every year you're the same place, because it's the one thing that's holding you back. And some of y'all know what it is. Like in your heart of hearts, if you really had to tell me the one thing that's holding you back from you being awesome and great, from releasing the power that God has given you, some of you already know what it is. Let's figure out together how we can how we can minimize that and make you great, right? All right, I know this is choose the harder right over the easier wrong. Yeah, that is a sermon, isn't it? Look, success is not comfortable. Success is not easy. Success is the road to Calvary. Embrace the suffering with joy, because you know that if you can get through this, man, rewards are on the other end. And I don't mean financial only, you know, spiritual rewards that are just tremendous. You know, give yourself over, man. Let God work in your life. He's ready to bless you if you're going to walk the path that he's given you. And part of my prayer today and this year for you is that I can help you walk that road that he's laid out for you, his will for you. To me, it's not insurance. It doesn't have to be insurance. If I can get you walking that road closer to what he wants you to do, man, my mission is accomplished. Okay. And I got to do it by leading, by example, the things I say, the things I do, more important, the things I do. And so I'm committed if you are. So anyway, gang, that is it, man. That's the first conference call of the year. I hope you liked it. And I know I'm over. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I try to keep these things to an hour. But thank you, Mark Dobbins and Milan Powell, for leading the way. Thank you, Karen Musil, for making the trip and getting in the top 10. You should pay. Proud of you. And rock on, man. This is a great business. I want you to win. And man, do these 8 things and you will. God bless, man. Take care, everybody. See ya.